Last night, I had the opportunity to attend a Kumina with members of the community here in Jamaica. It was fantastic, and the theme for the evening was prosperity. As the drums powerfully played and the singing carried through the hills into the beautiful dark night sky, I found myself reflecting on how much my understanding of prosperity has evolved and how differently I see it now than I once did. For those who may not know, Kumina is one of Jamaica's beautiful traditions with deep African roots, a spiritual gathering that carries the wisdom, rhythm, and remembrance of our ancestors, and being there surrounded by community, prayer, meditations, music, movement, and intention felt like stepping into something much bigger than myself. There was a feeling in that space that prosperity was not simply something to pursue, but something to recognize. Something that was already present and moving among us in ways that often go unnoticed, and when we become too focused on one definition of success. Of course, Ali has something to say. As I sat there listening to the drums and feeling that energy all around me and through me, I kept thinking about how easy it is to reduce prosperity to just money alone, when in reality, prosperity is so much more expansive than that. Prosperity is waking up healthy enough to enjoy another sunrise. Prosperity is having people around you who genuinely care for your well-being. It's community, purpose, connection, and the ability to create a life that feels aligned with your spirit. This morning arrived and I find myself getting ready to go pick up my third guest, making Natural Vibes Bed and Breakfast officially a full house. And I could not help but smile at the beautiful timing of it all, because less than 12 hours after sitting in a Kumina centered around prosperity, I was heading out to welcome another expression of abundance into my life. What makes this feel so meaningful to me is that this is about so much more than rooms being occupied or bookings. This represents trust, faith. It represents continuing to move forward even during moments when the numbers didn't always make sense, or when I couldn't actually see how everything was going to come together. There have been so many moments throughout my journey where I've chosen not to let fear make my decisions for me, because I've learned that when I move with faith and remain open to possibility, life has a way of meeting me with exactly what I need, exactly at the right time, and in ways I could never have predicted. So as I drive to pick this guest up today, I will be thinking about those drums from last night and the message they carried, because prosperity is not just arriving someday in the future after I hit some type of milestone or reached some financial goal. Prosperity is already here. It's present in the friendships I've built, in the community that welcome me in that Kumina circle, and the opportunity to create experiences for people visiting this beautiful part of Jamaica, and in the privilege of creating a space where people can slow down and just breathe deeply, reconnect in nature, in the center of nature, and experience the beauty of Portland. There is something very special about preparing a room and fluffing the pillows and opening the windows to let the breeze in, hearing the birds in the morning, and knowing that for a few days, Natural Vibes Bed and Breakfast becomes part of someone's story and part of their memories of Jamaica. And that feels like prosperity to me just as much as any payment ever could, because it is rooted in service, connection, and shared experiences. Last night reminded me that abundance moves through community and gratitude. And perhaps that's why I feel so emotional at this moment, because there was a time when so much of what I have today existed only as an idea or a prayer. So to now be driving to collect my third guest and fill this house feels like coincidence, or feels less like coincidence and more like confirmation that when we continue planting seeds with faith and consistency, eventually we get to sit in the shade of the trees we planted. So today I give thanks for the Kumina, I give thanks for the community, I give thanks to the ancestors and Jah whose traditions continue to live through these gatherings, and I give thanks for every guest who chooses to spend time at Natural Vibes Bed and Breakfast, because each one is a reminder that abundance comes in many forms and that prosperity arrives quietly, and ask that we just slow down enough to recognize it. So today, Natural Vibes Bed and Breakfast is full, along with my heart, my spirit, and for all of it, I give thanks. Thank you for listening. Love, health, and wealth. Peace.